What's up? It's Jack, aka Just a Cunt here, and today I wanted to talk about what I believe to be the definitive GOAT. Now, what does that mean? The GOAT list is pretty simple. It is the best of all time. So what this means is I will not be including resumes, really, title defense, accolades, winning streaks. None of that necessarily matters. What this is purely who is the most skilled fighter, who is the best fighter. So that means that, unfortunately, most heavier fighters, most older fighters, etc. are not going to be here. If you are well-rounded, you're going to be more valuable than a one-trick pony. If you have a high expression of MMA, irrespective of the competition, you are going to get a bump up. I'm not going to lie, a lot of this is eye test, a lot of this is bag. It's a little bit hard to exactly prove, but in general, that is about what we are talking about. Nonetheless, let's start off with number 10, Khabib Nurmagomedov. Now, Khabib is someone that I was questioning to put on this list, particularly with another Triple C that may have taken his spot. The reason for this is that, well, yes, Khabib's grappling is incredibly elite and very well-rounded compared to other fighters such as Kamaru Usman, who doesn't exactly have the submission ability. Khabib has submissions, has ground and pound, has position, has takedowns, has every single one you can ask for when it comes to grappling. Striking-wise is where I was questioning it. Now, the reason why is not because Khabib is a bad striker. In fact, he's a great striker, but it's all in the purpose of funneling into his grappling. So, part of me was considering putting a Henry Cejudo here just because he does use his striking more, but I think Khabib's more well-rounded grappling beats out Cejudo's minor, higher expression of striking, and even so, Khabib's striking has never proven to fail on him, really, particularly in the later half of his career, so I don't want to hold that against him, but it will hold him against people ahead of him that may have shown a similar level of grappling in addition to a high level of striking. Nonetheless, moving on, Khamzat Chimaev. Now, this is the same deal, but I am not taking into consideration cardio, physical abilities, physical attributes in terms of other ways to win. So, unfortunately, fighters like Merab are punished for that, but in this case, Khamzat is greatly elevated because purely in the first round, purely based on skill, you can argue that he's the top of this list. The biggest thing holding back, though, is his striking is genuinely not that good. Khabib's striking is good. Khabib has good striking, good defensive movement, can roll with shots really well, can land jabs, can land hard shots, and knows how to use his striking to back someone up the defense and allow for takedown. Khamzat, on the other hand, it's powerful, especially in the first round. It could do good on its lower level opponents like Gerald Meerschaert, but as we saw in the Burns fight, in the Usman fight, his striking is not elite enough. If it was even half decent, and if he does show to have better striking and compete with DDP in the striking, he may go up this list. But as of right now, this is purely a grappling ranking, and he is the best grappler in the sport ever, period. There is no one better than Khamzat. Just not the case. It's a shame that he is almost a waste of talent, which is insane to say, as he is undefeated, multiple first-round finishes, barely has been touched besides in the Gilbert Burns fights and Usman fights, and is currently fighting for a title. But he's almost under-delivered, even with how much talent he has. Nonetheless, moving up, Big Ank. Now this one, I think, is incredibly impressive. For Ankalaev to even be on this list, nonetheless above Khamzat and Khabib, by the way, you can argue him to be lower. You can say he could, because he doesn't have great submissions. But in my opinion, there has never been in the history of the sport a more technical fighter 205 and up, besides maybe Tom Aspinall, but even then I'm going to give it to Big Ink. The big reason for that, he is incredibly well-rounded, and he's not that big, he's not that long, he's not incredibly powerful, he's not incredibly fast. Obviously he is fast, he is powerful, but he's not like Cody Garbrandt. He doesn't rely on it. He is 99% technique. He's not an incredible athlete. Johnny Walker's a better athlete. You can even say Alex Pereira is more explosive than him. But with that hand speed, the boxing, the kicks, the ability to mix up the game from start to finish, even patching his leg kick defense hole that would get exploited by Jan Blachowicz, the ability to do anything everywhere, and it is so impressive that he just beat Alex Pereira on the feet. I know he had the takedown threat, but at a certain point, even when Pereira was going forward, he could not compete with him. And considering that, I think he is more technically sound than Jon Jones. Main reasons for that being, while yes, he has a less ability to submit people than Jones, that's the part where he's weaker in. On the feet, he is so much more well-rounded, much better boxing, much better, maybe you could say kicks, but Jones also relies on his frame so much. He relies so much on tall man defense. Big Ink is just that fucking good. More better finishing on ability feet on the as well. But I think if you put Big Ink against all of Jon Jones' opponents, he beats them as well, if not easier. DC, he's too big, he outboxes him, he defends the takedowns, or even takes down DC, and he can do it throughout the fight prolonged, unlike DC, who could really only wrestle for a round and a half to 2 rounds. In addition to Alexander Gustafsson, gets taken down, gets ground and pounded, gets smothered, loses. Does he finish people as impressively as Jones sometimes? Maybe not. I don't know if he would fucking standing guillotine Lyoto Machida, but this is just like Charles Oliveira Islam. Yeah, sure, Islam may not have as crazy finishes as Oliveira, and certain fights he may take longer than Oliveira, but at the end of the day, in terms of purely control, who is the most technically sound, who is the more skilled fighter, I don't think there's anyone in the heavier weight classes, maybe even middleweight, including as skilled as Big Ink. Moving on, Ilia Topuria. Now, Ilia, has room to grow. The problem with Ilia is that yes, he's incredibly technical, but we haven't seen his grappling that much. We saw in the beginning of his career against not super high level fighters, where he did look good, but not perfect. Jai Herbert, he was able to take him down, yes, but he couldn't just take him down and hold it under control, right? I think if you put Khabib there against Jai Herbert, he's taking him down, Jai Herbert's not getting the fuck up. Ilia is a good grappler, did pass Oliveira's guard, but did get put into a heel hook, had to stand up, got taken down by Brett. He is a definitely high-level grappler, and on the feet, he is arguably the best striker, or at least the most effective striker of all time. You have to at least say the best knockout artist of all time in terms of purely his technical ability. What's holding him back is kicks. I still feel like he does have somewhat of a weakness to kicks, in the sense of that he can get kicked in the head, teeps, distance. In addition to that, he is very technically sound, but his power doesn't carry him, but his power really emphasizes it. So instead of having to win multiple exchanges prolonged over a 25-minute fight, which I think he could do, he only needs to win a handful to get the knockout or to get a knockdown and win the round or win the fight, period. So that's the only thing really holding him back. The next spot on here is going to be very controversial. I don't think a lot of people are going to like it, but I think Ilia is, especially now he's doing more pound for pound, going up and fighting bigger guys, especially if you go up to 170 and do that. At that point, he'll probably have to go up the list way higher, just because I'm pure. He could just be the Khamzat level, where maybe he's not the best everywhere else, but he is high enough level everywhere else, and his striking is just that good that he can go up higher. But nonetheless, moving on to what's going to be the most controversial spot, Max Blessed Holloway. He is just good everywhere. He is just good everywhere. He is good grappling. He can mix it up when needed. Can he take down someone like a Volkanovski? Probably not. But he can control a Dustin Poirier. He can take down and control a Yair Rodriguez. He can also defend submissions. He can defend grappling and converse and get on top and pass guard from Dustin Poirier. That's a difficult thing to do. His grappling is elite. Do I think it holds up necessarily to other guys on this list? I think it holds up to Ilia. He got taken down, but everybody else stood right the fuck back up. Kind of a neutral thing. And I think he could take down Ilia if he really wanted to. In addition to that, his striking is so versatile. He is arguably the most versatile striker on the roster. What a lot of people misunderstand is that there's certain fighters, such as an MVP, who can do incredibly good against certain styles, but doesn't do as well against others. Same thing with Jon Jones. He can look incredibly impressive on the feet against a guy like DC because he's so much longer, he can use his length, and it just works well with DC. He's going to try and literally walk at him and run into knees. Soon as he fights Dominic Reyes, he's getting bolo uppercutted, he's getting dropped with body shots. He doesn't have that same effect. Kamaru Usman is a good longer range, mid-range boxer, but as soon as he gets to the pocket, he doesn't know what he's doing. Max Holloway is elite at range. He's elite in the mid-range. He's elite in the pocket. He's elite at kicks. He's elite at boxing. He's elite at kickboxing. He's elite elbows. He's elite knees. He's elite spinning fucking back kicks like Sean O'Malley. There's nothing he can't do on the feet, and he has a striking style, I think, in the history of 155. I think there is no one that he cannot just simply outskill. I think he overwhelms a Conor McGregor. I think obviously he beats Khabib on the feet. He beats Islam. Not to say necessarily beats them, period. The grappling could be interesting. But even then, I think Max had actually had a very solid shot of beating a guy like Khabib, beating a guy like Islam. Hot take, Islam had trouble controlling Poirier. I think he's going to have trouble controlling Max. And Max is better submission defense in my opinion. In addition to that, Max Holloway is improving every single fight, and as we've seen with his performances against Ilia, Max, Justin, he is better than a lot of these guys for a large chunk of the fight. When he lost to Ilia, I'm not going to say it was just a power thing, but that type of shot is a very powerful shot to where if Max Holloway, if this was pure skill for skill and it had to go to a decision, Max Holloway, I think, beats Ilia Topuria or is a very solid shot. Now, they're right by each other. You could put Ilia higher because even though Max has shown much more skills in the stand-up, Ilia does have a little bit more accomplishments in the grappling. Personally, I'd just put Max higher just because his grappling is also quite good, and I'd say his striking is more versatile than that, but it just depends. But Max Holloway, incredibly just skill, one of the best fighters of all time, period. Is on the boat. That motherfucker's on the boat. Moving on, Umar Nurmagomedov. He's just beating Merab, yeah, and then he got tired. He's just technically better than Merab. That's just the case. I'm a Merab fan, and I was on there watching a Nurmagomedov lose just because it's like history. It just feels like you're seeing something that's never been done. Which, to be credited, fun fact, Islam is going to be on this list. Having 3 fighters, 2 of which that are related, and 3 that are from the same camp, incredible feat, honestly. Incredible feat. I don't think it's going to take a long time to be replicated, but nonetheless, Umar Nurmagomedov, elite everywhere. Submission ability, high level. It doesn't seem like he makes struggle against the highest level. He makes struggle submit guys like Corey Sandhagen, Petr Yan, Merab. These high-level guys, he makes struggle to submit, but his grappling is elite. He beat Merab on the feet and in grappling until he got tired. He did beat Corey just period, just everywhere in part of the game. He beat Corey striking, he beat him grappling. Now, Corey did good grappling, he was able to get up. So maybe you could use that to argue he may go down some spots, but in my opinion, being able to outskill Merab just period and arguably win the first 3 rounds, just purely based off skill, I think is incredibly impressive. Now I think you could put Umar in there against anyone, and he could be comfortable in any area to fight. In a striking match with O'Malley, pure striking, I don't know if he'd beat O'Malley necessarily, but I think he'd do incredibly good. And his kicks are incredibly well. He has what Khabib doesn't, in the sense that Khabib may better be a pure grappler than Umar, but Umar's striking, particularly his kicks, he can ability to mix it up. He used a lot of boxing against Corey Sandhagen. It's incredibly high level, has good power, very accurate against Henry Barcelos, and overall, sky's the limit. He's an underrated guy where after Merab, it's all Umar, and Umar's going to move up this list, I feel, going up. But the next guy in front of him is Petr Yan. Big man. Maybe Lucas Tracy ain't so bad. I mean, bro, what can't he do? He can't control people on the ground. That's literally it. He's just not the best at controlling people on the ground. But in terms of his striking, it's the most skilled striking, period. It's the most skilled striking. Just is. O'Malley's longer than him, so he can kind of use that as an advantage. But nobody Peter's size, and I think if him and Umar just had a straight kickboxing match, Peter wins that. And I think he can defend the grappling. I think he'd actually take down Umar. Now, Umar definitely has better control, and a lot of these people do have better control. It's a big thing. Khamzat, Khabib, probably even Ilia as well, Ankalaev. You could even say Max, maybe, if you really wanted to push it. But besides positional control and submissions, or by the way, he still can, like he did against Aldo. When he hurt Aldo, he was able to keep him on the ground and ground and pound him, which is very difficult to do, to hold Aldo down. Petr Yan, needless to say, if we're not really, like, he's not the most powerful guy, he's not insanely fast, but he's so dynamic on the feet. His body kicks, his spinning heel kicks, the amount of different types of strikers he fought kickboxer, course hander, beat him there, was competing with O'Malley. And I think if he wanted to beat O'Malley and just pure kickboxing and not take the easy route, I think he can just beat O'Malley in kickboxing. Beat Jose Aldo, just straight kickboxing. Just is more skilled than Merab. I don't give a fuck. He just is. He just literally got spam takedowns, alright? Merab literally just spammed one fucking move. Doesn't count. Petr Yan is one of the top 5 most skilled fighters of all time and is on the boat. You see the hat, brother. You see the hat. That he's on the boat. Moving on. In my opinion, these top 3 are quite definitive. It's kind of hard for me to put anyone else above these guys, but I think this is a very solid top 3. Demetrious Johnson. This guy's just a GOAT. I don't know. Part of me wants me to put him up higher. The only reason I'm not is because he can't implement his will as well as the 2 guys above him. Now, you can say that because he's not super powerful, but Demetrious hits hard, and he's very fast. He's very agile. He's very sharp, right? So I don't want to just say that. But he can't just take someone down and hold him down for a round as easily as maybe other guys up has. But also, I think the technical ability the fighter's facing could be different. But I think in terms of pure, who is the most perfect example of a mixed martial artist? Someone who grapples, who does jiu-jitsu, who does throws, who does kickboxing, does Muay Thai, who does boxing, who does everything? It's Demetrious Johnson. He is elite boxing, elite kicks, elite kickboxing, elite Muay Thai, elite jiu-jitsu, elite wrestling. Scrambles with Henry Cejudo and literally out kickboxes multiple different guys. Incredible performances. Look at an Adrian Moraes fight while being at the later end of his career. Overall, Demetrious Johnson, there's nothing to say here. His submission ability is elite. Everything about him, he has literally 0 weaknesses in his game. The only thing holding him back is he may not be as elite as the 2 guys above him in this list in those particular areas. But even you can argue him to be higher as well. Moving on. Volkanovski. Big Volk. He's just missing submissions, yeah? He's just not a great jiu-jitsu guy. It's kind of the only thing holding him back, and maybe you want to drop him a little about that, but in my opinion, being able to take down Diego Lopez, control him for a round, just have that DC ability, literally just DC maxes him. Against Yair Rodriguez, just can't, losing on the feet, takes down, controls him. On the feet, rocked Yair, just beat Max Holloway in a pure kickboxing match, which is an incredible feat. Competed with Islam, who is much bigger than him, and you may see on this list. Competes with all of them. Great kicks, great body kick, great head kick. Looking at the Ilia fight, before he got caught, he was technically out-skilling Ilia and out-kickboxing him. I wish he used the grappling more. I wish he'd implement takedowns more. But I get it, you don't kind of want to get into that pocket change if you don't need to. But in my opinion, in terms of pure well-rounded skills, he's shown better grappling than Ilia in terms of actually implementing it on opponents, taking people down, going for it, landing devastating ground and pound against Brian Ortega, defended all the submissions. He may not be the best offensive jiu-jitsu player, but in terms of submission defense, he is absolutely elite. Literally took Brian Ortega down, ground and pounded him, damn near finished him in his guard, defended multiple submissions, and then out kickboxed Max Holloway for 5 rounds. There's nothing more I need to say for that. Number 2, you can argue number 1. Islam Makhachev is the best fighter of all time. He just is. I think there are matchups you can put against Khabib where he struggles a lot. I think if you put Khabib at 170 against Johnny Hendricks, that's a hard fight. I think if you put Khabib against Kamaru Usman at 170, that's a hard-ass fucking fight. Islam Makhachev, I think there is not a single fighter in the history of the sport that you can put to make his size that he cannot either just straight out beat or make a razor close decision. Jon Jones is his side. He's going to outbox him. He's going to be able to counter him. He's going to be able to implement his wrestling onto him. Just outskills him overall. Same thing with DC, GSP, all these guys. Anderson Silva gets taken down, choked out. There's not a fighter in the history of this sport that can go to Islam in a fair MMA fight where sizes are made the same, where it is a fair fight where they both can express them to the best of their ability and he doesn't win. You can argue Volkanovski above him just because Islam does have a very good size disadvantage or advantage against Volk, and that did play into a very close fight, but it's kind of speculative at that point. Him going up, if he goes up and just beats JDM, it just reaffirms us that he's just the best. And I think at 170, he beats everyone there. Maybe a prime Kamaru Usman is a problem and can be difficult, but even then, I still think he beats Usman. And I think he can still take down Usman and control him. Usman seems like someone that, while yes, he is great wrestling, and he has good scrambles, of course, when you take him down, Leonardo was able to just control him for a round. Khamzat, when he got him, he was able to control. Every time he took him down, he was able to get control time. I think Islam can take down Usman and control him and surrender submissions, and maybe even get a submission potentially. And on the feet, I think he'd also kick the shit out of Usman, literally kick the shit out of him with body kicks, do a similar game plan to Leon, but with better grappling as well. I think there is literally not a man alive or dead that can compete with Islam in every single area of the game. There's just no one as well-rounded, no one as skilled. He has submission, he has ground and pound, he has boxing, he has kickboxing, he has Muay Thai, he has elbows. There's literally nothing he can't do. The only thing is that maybe Ilia can catch him. That's kind of the point where we're at. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I do have some honorable mentions. You could probably even put more than this. The main reason a lot of these guys weren't included is they either have a big hole in their game, they're well-rounded, but they aren't as elite as the other guys on this list, or they're just in the heavier weight classes, so they're just not going to be as skilled, not going to be as dynamic, not going to be as good as the guys lower, which is just unfortunate. But I wanted to do the best, the definitive best. So I don't want to give credit and be like, oh, well, you know, maybe this guy's actually fucking better than him, but he's a bigger guy, and he's better as a bigger guy than he is a smaller guy. No. That's why Tom Aspinall, Francis, Jon Jones, GSP, DC, all these guys are on the honorable mentions because I just don't think they're technically as good. DC didn't have really great jiu-jitsu, didn't have the great cardio, didn't have great kicks. Francis, I don't think is skilled enough. Tom Aspinall, I don't think skilled enough. Jon Jones has shit boxing. Kamaru Usman is not well-rounded enough on the feet and not well-rounded enough as a grappler. Armin Sir, can kind of shit at the striking. Henry Cejudo is the one that I almost put above Khabib, but I think Khabib's ability to implement his will in the grappling is more impressive than Henry Cejudo, and it makes him more skilled and better than Henry Cejudo, even if Henry Cejudo has more striking accolades. Nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys had fun. Let me know what you guys think. What would you guys put on your boat list? Not the GOAT list, just the boat list. Let me know what you guys think. Anyway, have a good one.